Hey there, Jen here from Frugal for Less. In this video, we're going to be going over 7 detailed steps to starting a successful blog. We've been in the blogging business for a little over 4 years now. It's certainly been a wild ride, but we've learned a lot about what works and what doesn't. It still amazes us today that we're able to earn a living off something that we're truly passionate about. We like to take the time and share with you these 7 things you need in order to create a successful blog. All of the steps are super detailed, so be prepared for a ton of content and helpful specific steps to aid in helping you start your successful blog. Okay, let's take a look. Number 1, be passionate about your topic. Now, before we get into the technical side of how to set up your blog, there's one thing we want to cover first. It goes without saying that if you don't have knowledge about a topic or aren't willing to do some research on it, you're not going to be able to churn out any content. The reason why we started Frugal for Less is because we realized that there was a problem with the way others were spending money. It might sound strange, but it actually annoyed us at how people were not getting an easy 2% cash back here and there. We had this knowledge base about quirky ways to make money through apps from years of research. How come no one else was getting it? With that said, we started writing. We knew that if no one read the post, that at least friends would get a big kick out of it, and at the very least, it would definitely increase our knowledge of the World Wide Web. It's been years now, and for the past 13 months we've produced roughly 365 articles. We've been able to consistently write anywhere from 600 to 2,500 words per day for the past year or so. Without the passion and drive to write about frugality, we wouldn't have gotten to 2,000 plus visitors actually on a daily basis. And the number continues to rise. Don't know what to write about? We get this a lot from people wanting to start a blog. The best advice that we can give you is to find something you enjoy reading about. Do you already follow certain blogs online or read books? What do the authors write about? Is there anything they're missing out in their work? Although we're specifically focusing on personal finance blogging, it can be about anything related to finance or anything at all. Travel related finance, saving money while working, trying to budget as a working mom, etc. Number 2, get a creative domain name. Now that you've picked out your topic to write about, picking out a name for your blog can be a dilemma of its own. After all, this is the foundation of what your site is about. When starting this blog, we literally picked the first 5 names that came to our head and sent them all to a family member. We told them to select the best one, and that's how the site was born. We've thought of better names since then, but now the name is stuck and we don't ever think that we could replace it. Even though the name was chosen kind of randomly, we knew that we wanted the term frugality in there somewhere. It is important to choose something that's related to your topic. Here are 5 quick tips for a creative domain name. Be direct. Make it memorable. This will make you look professional and add credibility to your brand. Keep the name short. Research shows that top websites only have 1 or 2 words in their domain name, so keep this in mind. Choose a .com. Over 75% of websites are using .com as their extension. This is the standard that everyone goes to. Most users are going to assume that your site ends in .com. Be unique. You want to try and stand out from the competition. There are already a ton of blogs out there in the niche that you select, more than likely. Do you have a niche you specialize in? Maybe your mom, you write funny stories about how difficult it is to keep a budget with a kid. Being different can go a long way. We recommend checking out Namecheap as your domain registrar. They give out monthly coupon codes for $1 off domain names and other cool perks. Number 3, choose a host. If you're just starting out, you're going to want to spend as little money as possible probably. Hosting plans can cost up to hundreds of dollars per month depending on your site and level of traffic. Fortunately, since you're going to be starting out, you won't have to really worry much about this. For those who are unfamiliar with setting up a website, a web host gives you access to a server in which you can place your web files. When you point your domain in the direction of the web host, it allows for users to view these files. It might sound complicated and technical, but don't worry, you do not have to be a tech expert to start a blog. We recommend going with the hosting company Bluehost. They're cheap yet reliable hosting, and the cost is $3.95 per month. They have some really amazing customer service, best in the industry, and they have a lot of other cool perks as a part of their hosting plan. So you can see here on Bluehost, they offer some cool add-ons as a part of your monthly package, including free domain name for the first year. You also get a free SSL certificate included, which means that your URL can be HTTPS instead of HTTP, which is great for security and is awesome for SEO, search engine friendly, and other awesome things associated with it, and that's completely free. They have a one-click WordPress install as well as their 27 support that is really awesome that we've talked about already. Getting started with Bluehost is incredibly simple. We realize that some of you might not be experienced with web development, so we're going to walk you through every step in detail. First, you're going to choose a plan. Keep in mind you can use any hosting service you want, but we're going to be talking directly about Bluehost as an example. So you're going to go to the Bluehost page and click Get Started. From there, you'll pick your plan. You can upgrade later if you decide to, and as your site changes and grows. So making adjustments in the future is not a problem. Next is domain, and you're either going to have a domain name already purchased or you're not. So the page will look something like this. And you'll pick the appropriate option depending upon if you need a new domain. And again, the domain is free as a part of your hosting. Or if you've already purchased a domain, like from Namecheap that we mentioned earlier, there's a separate process for connecting that existing domain to your hosting. Next, you're going to do the account setup. With the setup, you're going to enter in your personal information like your name and your address. And then you're going to choose your plan. The Choose Your Plan page will look something like this. You can see that there are a couple different options. We recommend the 36-month plan because you get the cheapest monthly hosting, but you can do 12 or 24 months as well. And these are some extra options. These are optional. There's no need to select any of these extras unless you want to. Lastly, you're going to create your password. After you pay, you'll be prompted to create your password, set up your username, and then you'll get this congratulations page here. Okay, so number 4, link your domain to your host. This is if you have purchased your domain name ahead of time The Bluehost package includes a free domain, so if you've taken advantage of that and gotten a domain with your hosting, you won't have to worry about this step. But we will link to this article down below in the description box, which gives you all the steps to link your existing domain to your host if you did happen to purchase the domain name ahead of your hosting. Number 5, install WordPress. We highly recommend using WordPress to get started with your first blog because it's super simple to use. You're going to go to the Bluehost panel and click on the button that says install WordPress. It's a one-click WordPress installation, super simple, and takes literally 30 seconds or so to get set up for you. Simply click the install button and get WordPress installed. From there, you'll be able to log into your WordPress site. It would look something like this. So you'll log in with your username and password, and then that'll get you logged in and connected to your WordPress site. Number 6, change your theme or the style of your site. You don't need to be a professional web designer to make your site look good. Fortunately, there are hundreds of free WordPress themes that will change your site from nothing to something in an instant. You can also opt to hire a web designer or a professional if you so choose. Number 7, these blogging tips will help you get started and on your way to a fruitful blogging career. Let's take a look. Number 1, start writing, but not every day unless you absolutely want to. We post here at Frugal for Less on a daily basis. You don't have to necessarily take this option if you don't want to or don't have the time. A lot of blog readers or new bloggers think that in order to get started as a professional in this field, you need to write a post every day. And in fact, it's the opposite. Research actually shows that writing longer posts and quality posts are going to ultimately lead you to more traffic. According to famous SEO expert Neil Patel of QuickSprout, posts of at least 2,500 words or more tend to do the best. So keep this in mind when you're producing your post. While it is possible to do this on a daily basis, it is pretty improbable, especially if you're trying to consistently churn out quality content. It doesn't matter how much content you have on your blog. If the content isn't interesting, no one is going to come back and you won't be able to develop a strong following. Next, research other posts on the same topic and do it better. Sometimes we're lucky enough to be writing an article that no one has researched before. If enough people are searching for it, it can quickly be indexed as number 1 or number 2 on Google for a specific term. However, the majority of the time, this isn't even close to the case. There are already thousands of posts that tell you how to start a successful blog, and we're just going to add to the mix. How we stand out is if we're writing about, how can we stand out if we're writing about the same thing as everyone else? Research other bloggers. Before we write a post, we type in the post article in Google to see what other bloggers have written. Not only does this give you an idea of how to organize your post, but it shows you what ideas may be missing. This way they can be incorporated into our ideas plus the ideas of other bloggers. Next, find relevant topics. Have the urge to get writing but can't think of a topic? Our personal favorite source for finding content is Reddit. Before we decide to write, we usually browse through a couple subreddits that we follow. If a topic looks interesting enough, we do some research to see if it's legitimate and start writing. Write article titles that scream at your audience. We could have just as easily written a blog post called How to Start a Blog, but does that really grasp your attention? Not only is Google already saturated with pieces related to this topic, but it doesn't really grab your attention in any way. Lists are really fantastic. Our most popular posts are ones that have numbers in them. Lists are a great way to quickly inform readers of how long your articles are, as well as how quickly we can grab the reader's attention. One of our most popular posts is 40 Amazon hacks to help save you money. We get a ton of traffic from Google because the title is appealing and it's long enough to warrant visitors to favorite the page and constantly come back to it. Use Google keyword tools to find unique titles. Google Keyword Tools is great to assess the competition on a particular article. Typing in the term "how to start a blog" returns a ton of results on average, but the competition is somewhat high. When we change it to "how to start a finance blog," for example, the average monthly searches goes down, but the competition is also much lower. We will leave a link down below in the description box to this article to illustrate what this means a little better to help your understanding, as well as screenshots and illustrations to show exactly what we mean. Blogging isn't free, nor should it be taken lightheartedly. Given these facts, you should still enjoy what you're doing if you want to make your blog successful. Otherwise, it's going to be all too easy for you to run out of steam and give up. What we mentioned above may seem daunting or maybe even almost impossible. The best way to find out whether you can hack it or not is just to get started. The costs are cheap. You'll learn a ton in the process. Not only that, but you'd be surprised how transferable these skills are to other industries. We hope you enjoyed this article. Roundup video 7 detailed steps to start a successful blog. If you have any questions at all, don't forget to leave them down below in comments. Like this video and subscribe to get more content like this. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.